Knight moves to e5.
What? Another piece, knight to e5. He's just offered the knight now.
Boom, 2. Sacrifice number 2. Back-to-back minor piece sacrifices. This is the moment, the double minor piece sacrifice. It's just stunning. The black pieces are absolutely breathing fire.
Okay, let's dive right in. We're looking at the game of the year 2013. How did it all start?
Okay, so the opening, pretty standard. Queen's Gambit declined, actually. Nothing too wild initially.
Right, so Aronian with white starts move 1, pawn to d4.
And Anand responds. Pawn to d5. Very solid.
White continues. Pawn to c4. The Queen's Gambit offered.
Black plays pawn to c6, declining it. The Slav semi-Slav setup territory.
White develops. Knight to f3.
Black mirrors. Knight to f6.
White. Knight to c3, bringing another piece out.
Black plays pawn to e6. This solidifies the center, heading towards a semi-Slav.
Okay. White. Pawn to e3. Supporting the d4 pawn.
Black. Knight to d7. Standard developing move.
White. Bishop to d3. Placing the bishop on an active diagonal.
And here, black takes. Pawn takes pawn on c4, resolving the central tension a bit.
White naturally recaptures. Bishop takes pawn on c4.
Black immediately pushes. Pawn to b5, kicking the bishop and preparing to develop his own bishop.
White retreats. Bishop to d3, back to its previous strong square.
Black develops. Bishop to d6. A slightly unusual square in some lines, but playable.
White castles. Kingside. Gets the king safe.
Black does the same. Castles kingside. Symmetry for now.
White plays queen to c2, connecting the rooks, eyeing h7 sometimes.
Black places the bishop on b7. Good square, looking down the long diagonal.
White plays pawn to a3, a useful prophylactic move, controlling b4.
And black brings the rook to c8, lining up on the semi-open c-file. Okay, so that's move 11.
Right, move 11. Position looks pretty balanced. Complex maybe, but balanced. Standard Queen's Gambit stuff.
Yeah, exactly. It feels like a long strategic battle is coming. But move 12 is where things start to get, let's say, spicy. Aronian initiates.
Okay, white move 12. Knight moves to g5. That looks ambitious. Attacking the pawn.
Ambitious is one word. Our sources say careless. He's starting something on the flank, but maybe hasn't fully secured the center or his own king's safety. A definite risk.
And how does Anand react? Does he defend?
Nope. He counterattacks immediately. Black, move 12. Pawn to c5. Bam! Right in the center.
Ah, the classic response, right. Hit back in the center when attacked on the flank.
Absolutely essential in the Queen's Gambit.
Yeah.
That knight on g5 suddenly looks a bit misplaced, doesn't it? And the center is opening up. This isn't positional anymore. It's becoming a fight.
So white's turn again. Does Aronian reconsider? Pull the knight back?
No, he doubles down. White, move 13. Knight takes pawn on h7. He grabs the pawn.
Takes the pawn. Wow, so he gets material, but that knight looks really stranded over there on h7.
Exactly. It's won a pawn, but it's offside. It's not defending. It's not attacking anything relevant from h7. And Anand wastes no time. Black, move 13. Knight to g4.
Ooh, knight to g4. Straight away, that's putting pressure on f2, isn't it, near the white king?
Massive pressure. The knight on g4, the bishop on d6, maybe the queen coming. It's like pointing towards the white king now. Aronian has to react carefully.
And his reaction. White, move 14. Pawn to f4. Uh-oh. Trying to kick the knight, maybe? Support the center?
Trying to, yes. But this is labeled as the decisive mistake. A fateful error.
Why f4? What's so bad about it?
Well, it tries to secure e5 and attack the knight, but it fatally weakens the light squares around his king, especially e3. And crucially, it gives black a perfect tactical target. It just solidifies white's structure in a way that helps black's attack.
What should he have played instead?
Probably pawn to h3. Just asking the knight what it's doing there. Keeps things more flexible. But pawn to f4, it invites disaster.
And Anand obliges. Okay, so now we're at the start of this legendary combination, the Immortal masterpiece.
Get ready. Black, move 15.
Actually, before the big move, Anand first plays pawn takes pawn on d4. Important intermediate move, opening the d file towards the white queen.
Right, pawn takes d4 first.
Okay.
Then comes the thunder. Black, move 15. Bishop moves to c5. Just like that.
Bishop to c5. That's true. He's just giving the bishop away, isn't he? A full sacrifice.
Boom. Tactical miracle number 1. He sacrifices the bishop just to tear open the lines directly at the white king. Suddenly you can see mate threats appearing all over the place. The position is ripped open.
Wow. Okay, so what if white just takes it? Pawn takes bishop on c5. Seems free.
If pawn takes bishop, it's devastating. Black plays queen to d4 check. The queen and the knight on g4 would just overwhelm white completely. It's basically losing on the spot.
So Aronian must have seen that danger. What does he play instead?
He has to retreat. White, move 16. Bishop moves to e2, blocking the d-file check and just trying to hold on.
Okay, so he dodged the first billet. But Anand, he's not done, is he?
Not even close. Black moves 16. Knight moves to e5.
What? Another piece, knight to e5. He's just offered the knight now.
Boom, 2. Sacrifice number 2. Back-to-back minor piece sacrifices. This is the moment, the double minor piece sacrifice. It's just stunning. The black pieces are absolutely breathing fire, you know.
I can't even imagine. Sacrificing one piece is brave, but two. Just like that. What's the idea?
The idea is checkmate. Anand calculates that the attack is worth more than the pieces. He's ripping open white's king position completely.
Okay, so Aronian has a choice now. He can take the knight on e5 with the pawn, or take the knight on g4 with his bishop. What does he do? White moves 17.
He takes knight on g4, white moves 17. Bishop takes knight on g4. This is probably the best practical try, though the position is likely lost anyway.
Why is taking that knight better than taking the other one, the one on e5?
Well, if you played 17, pawn takes knight on e5. There's a beautiful, almost immediate smothered mate threat after queen to g5 check.
A smothered mate. Can you explain that quickly?
Sure. It's when a knight delivers checkmate to a king that's completely surrounded or smothered by its own pieces. So if white took on e5, black would check with the queen, force some moves, and potentially sacrifice the queen just to let the other knight deliver mate on f2, a very famous pattern. Aronian wisely avoids that specific trap.
Wow, okay. So he avoided the smothered mate, but he's still in deep trouble. Black's move now, after bishop takes g4.
Anand keeps the pressure on. Black, move 17. Bishop to d4, check. Using the open diagonal.
Forces the king to move, white move 18, king moves to h1, the only legal move.
And now black recaptures. Black, move 18. Knight takes bishop on g4. So, let's recap. White's king is totally exposed. Black's pieces are perfectly coordinated for the attack.
Yeah, the compensation is just overwhelming, isn't it? It doesn't feel like white has any way to defend effectively. What does Aronian even try here?
Well, he seems to decide that if he's going down, he might as well grab more material. Maybe hope to survive the storm and win an endgame. White, move 19. Knight takes rook on f8.
Takes the rook. Materially, it's a disaster for Anand.
Materially, yes.
Right.
Tactically. Anand is completely winning. He ignores the material loss. Black, move 19. Pawn moves to f5.
Pawn to f5. Just opens the f file for his own rook and queen. Brilliant. Doesn't even bother taking the knight back.
Exactly. Taking the knight with the king, 19.ksf8, would have been possible, but maybe less clear. Pawn to f5 is deadly precise. It secures the knight on g4 and opens the highway for the heavy pieces.
White's position looks hopeless. What's next? White, move 20. Knight moves to g6.
A desperate block, maybe trying to cover f8 or something, but it doesn't help.
Black, move 20. Queen moves to f6. Lining up on the f file, threatening all sorts.
White is just trying to survive. White move 21, pawn moves to h3. Trying to make a little space for the king, maybe, but the threats are too strong.
Black simply removes the defender. Black, move 21. Queen takes knight on g6.
Now the attack is crashing through again. White's king is just caught in a mating net.
What can white even do? Move 22. Aronian plays queen to e. Does that trying to trade queens?
It's the last desperate hope. If queens come off the board, the attack fizzles out, and white's extra material might count.
But can white afford that? What if, instead of queen to e2, white played pawn takes knight on g4?
22. Pawn takes knight on g4. That would be instant mate. Queen to h6, checkmate. The h-file is wide open.
Got it. So queen to e2 is the only way to even try to prolong the game.
Yes, but Anand isn't having any of it. Black, move 22. Queen moves to h5, sidesteps the trade, keeps the king targeted on the h-file.
The net is closing. White, move 23. Queen moves to d3. Trying to cover the h7 square. Maybe block the diagonal.
Just shuffling pieces around. And now comes the final elegant blow. Black, move 23. Bishop moves to e3.
Bishop to e3? That seems quiet. What does that do?
It's the quiet killer move. It does everything. It cuts off the white queen's defense along the third rank. It protects the knight on g4. And crucially, it opens the path for, well, it just seals the deal. Mate is now unavoidable, like queen to h2 or queen to g4 followed by mate.
It's just a beautiful final touch, blocks the last defensive line. Amazing.
Absolutely. It completes the masterpiece. Aronian resigned right here. Definitely one for the ages.
Well, if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, Chess Explained by AI.
Yeah, subscribe for more deep dives into great chess games.